Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is
Pet McDonald, and we're here to continue our playthrough of Raiders of the North Sea.
And let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it with the suggestion that I received from Shane Laporte that got the most votes. Let's get rating, Pep.
Well, not quite.
You're right, not yet. Soon though. Instead of rating, Shane wants me to go to the barracks with my worker and recruit a new crew member, the Warmonger.
Oh, he's great.
Yes, he allows me to gain 1 victory point whenever I raid a harbor.
And there's lots of harbors around.
And I can't wait to raid them. This would normally cost me 3 coins, but because of the recruiter, it's only going to cost me 2, which I'll return to the supply. And then for my next action, I'll pull back this gray worker and spend an iron in order to move my marker 2 spaces up on the armor track to match Pep. So that ends my turn, Pep. Over to you.
It feels like a good day for a raid.
Looks like you're eyeing up a harbor, Pep.
I am, and I believe in symmetry in my actions. We raided a harbor to the left, then we raided a harbor to the right, and now it's time to raid a harbor in the middle.
So which one of these do you want?
If I'm going for the middle, might as well go all the way for the middle.
Okay, the center one. So you gained a couple of iron, some livestock, and a Valkyrie.
Yeah, so we'll have to remove this Valkyrie, as well as my Avenger.
Oh no.
Do you remember what the Avenger does, Rodney?
I do. Let's remind everyone. When the Avenger is destroyed,
You must destroy a crew member as well.
I don't like that so much, but I think from my options, I will remove the recruiter. It's the weakest one of my crew.
That's fair. So I'll be claiming this gray worker.
Oh, you might have gotten ahead of yourself there, Pep. You also have to spend a food as well.
Oops, thanks for reminding me.
Sure thing.
So I'll go up on the Valkyrie track from my dead Avenger, and I'll gain 1 point from the raid.
I'm tempted to go raiding, but I still feel like I need some more provisions. It's the weakness of my clan. So I'll go here, and I'll gain 2 more of these provision tokens. And because I'd like to have a gray worker for next time, I'll head over to the silversmith and take this one. And because it's gray, it will only gain me 2 coins, which I'll add to my ship. And that's my turn.
And for me, it looks like it's time to go to the armory again.
And you can't spend money, so I assume you're spending some iron?
I am indeed, so I'll be spending an iron.
That's going to bump you up 2 space, which is also crossed a victory point. So now you're going to get 2 victory points for that at the end of the game.
Perfect.
Now, which worker would you like to reclaim?
This is where it gets a little hard. I don't have any money, so I can't really use the barracks. I'm actually going to have to go with the treasury.
I don't think we've used that at all this game yet, have we?
We haven't, so I can either discard 1 card from my hand to gain 2 coins, or 2 cards to gain 1 gold.
What seems good to you?
I'm going to be discarding this jeweler from my hand.
Well, that seems appropriate because you're going to be gaining 2 silver from the jeweler.
Perfect. Back to you.
Well, let's clean up your ship a little. I think we need bigger boats, Pep. I'm excited about this raid, Pep, because I'm leaving the harbors and I'm heading up here to this outpost. Now, it says I have to use a gray worker, which I have. And I also have to spend 4 provisions, which I have here.
You're going to starve on the way home.
Oh, our bellies will be full from victory, Pep. Well, hopefully. I have to have 3 raiders, which I do have. And then I have a couple of different ways I can get points. If my total strength is 8, I'll get 2 points. If my total strength is 14, I'll get 4. Currently, I have 9 plus 2 for my armory for a total of 11. So I'm guaranteed the 2 victory points, and I get to roll 1 die, and hopefully...
That's it.
That's exactly it. It gets me to 14, and I'll get 4 points. But first, I'll collect my bounty. I'm going to gain 2 livestock, as well as 2 gold, and I'll also collect this gray worker.
That was quite a haul.
Oh, Pep's brought out the angry accent again.
It's necessary for raiding.
Well, not only do I get the 4 points from that raid, but also because it was an outpost and I have this archer, it says I gain 2 more victory points.
For my turn, it looks like I'm going to need some money, so I'm heading to the silversmith.
And with the black worker, you get 3 silver.
I like that.
And what are you taking back?
Listen, you know me, I like weapons, so I'm going back to the armory and spending even more iron.
Well, that's moved you up to the 4-point position.
And more importantly, 6 attack strength.
Yeah, I think you've built yourself a warship over there. Well, once again, I have all the silver I could want, but no provisions. And provisions are necessary for raiding. So I'm going to actually go over here to the longhouse where it says I can trade in a livestock in order to take 2 provisions. And then I'm going to take back this gray worker to gain 2 more provisions.
Look at that food.
Yeah, I think I turned things around there. Pep, back over to you.
My gray worker will be heading to the gatehouse so I can draw 2 new cards. Oh, interesting. I'll be pulling a worker back from the barracks so I can play this new mercenary that I got.
Oh, expensive. That's going to cost you 4 silver.
He is, but if he's killed in a raid, he'll give me 1 extra victory point.
Well, we know there's a lot of places for him to die out there.
So true.
And he's got a strength of 4, so he's pretty powerful. I'm getting a little envious of Pep's magnificent ship. I'm going to go over here to the armory. I'm going to spend one of my iron in order to go up 2 spaces on this track and get a little more fortified. And then I'll pull back this worker from the gatehouse in order to draw 2 new potential crew members.
First up for me, I'll be spending my black worker at the gatehouse to get 2 more cards.
So you've got some recruiting options. What's next?
I'll be taking back this gray worker from the longhouse in order to spend a livestock and a gold and take one of these.
Ah, you've made the chieftain very happy. You're the first person to provide an offering. That's going to give you 3 points at the end of the game and will reveal a new offering tile as well. And offerings that you collect actually go face down, Pep, so you can flip that over.
Perfect.
It'll be a little secret. Time for another raid, and I really liked the outpost last time, so I'm heading back for another visit. And this is going to cost me 4 provisions, so again, I'm emptying my ship of them. And strength-wise, I have 9 here, plus 4 for my armory for a total of 13.
So you almost don't even need to roll.
I almost don't need to, but I will just for fun. And I got a 4, which adding to my total certainly brings me over the required 14. So I'll collect my reward, including this white worker, and then gain these 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus again, because it's an outpost, another 2, bringing me to 13.
Quite the commanding lead.
Yes, you've got a bit of a gap to close here, Pep. But that ends my turn.
While you've been out there raiding, I've been working on diplomacy, increasing the value of the village.
And sucking up to the chieftain, too.
A little bit.
So are you heading out to raid?
No, I'm going to cash in on some of this lucrative money that the village has been making. First of all, I'll be taking my gray worker, throwing away a card, and gaining 2 coins. But I'll also be gaining 3 coins by taking this worker back from the silversmith. So I'll be collecting a total of 5 money.
All right, there's 5 silver for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Load up the ship. Well, once again, I have no provisions, so I won't be raiding, and instead I'll head over to the mill, and I'll gain 2 provisions to add to my ship, and then I'll pull back this armorer. Ooh, wait a second, I don't have iron anymore, so no, I don't think I want to do the armory. Instead, I guess I'll go to the treasury to take back a gray worker, and I'll throw out one of these crew member from my hand, gaining me 2 more silver. All right, Pep, back over to you.
I've been holding back the rage for a long time.
I know, I can feel it sitting over here.
So I'm going to the barracks, and I'm going to be recruiting the Berserker.
Oh, the Berserker is back. It's going to cost you 3 silver.
It is.
And which worker are you going to take back?
I'll be taking back this white worker from the mill.
Oh, I hated that I had to give that up. Figured you might take it.
And I'm not taking the option for food. I'm going to take the option for gold.
All right, I'll give you this from the supply. Oh, I almost took it myself there.
And because of the ability of my foragers, I'll gain these extra provisions because I visited the mill.
Well, that does raise an interesting question, because the effect says you gain additional provisions, and in this case, you didn't actually collect provisions, you collected gold.
Oh, I see how you could read it that way, yeah.
So I'm not sure how that works. I think we should leave you with the provisions, and we'll double check in the meantime and come back and correct that if we have to in the next video.
Well, why don't we just leave them floating in limbo here on top of the foragers?
Okay, sure, we'll do that. All right, well, now it's my turn. Well, in my ongoing quest to keep myself stocked with provisions, I'll be going to the mill and gain 2 more. As much as I'd like to take back a gray worker, I think I will take back this one from the barracks. And I'm gonna bring out Brinjar the hero. He's gonna cost me, let's see, 4 silver. So I'll take these from my boat, put them back in the supply, and he's providing me with a strength of 4.
And he's a hero. What does that mean?
That's right, he's kind of unique. You'll notice he has 2 abilities that are now active. Let's take a closer look. His first ability says that he gains 1 strength for every 3 armor that I currently have.
Oh, so he's actually 5.
Exactly. The higher I get my armor, the stronger he becomes.
If only I had him.
Thankfully, you don't. But he also has another ability here, if you want to call it that, and it just says you cannot have more than 1 hero. So I cannot have another character with this hero keyword. And that ends my turn, Pep, so back over to you.
I've heard of a peaceful monastery in the mountains.
You gonna go change that situation?
I'm gonna go change that.
Okay. So you're going on a raid, finally?
Yeah, and I'll be spending my white worker to go to this monastery.
They won't know what hit them. What's your strength right now?
I have 8 from my crew and 6 from my armor. So that's 14.
So you already satisfy the conditions here to get 4 points.
Right, but I also get to roll these 2 dice, so I might be able to get to 22.
And before you do that, it looks like you have to spend 1 gold and 2 provisions.
I do indeed, so I'll remove those here now. Let's hope those monks aren't too well trained.
Oh, so close. You needed a total of 8 to get the 22, right?
I did, and that's only 6.
But you still get to collect your loot.
Indeed, as well as 4 points.
And you also collect a white worker. Maybe that was one of the monks. Well, let's give Pep those 4 points.
Yes.
And, well, still a little gap there.
A little bit.
A little gap. And I'd like to make that gap bigger. So please, in the comments below, let me know what you think I should do. And if you like what someone says, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like it, propose your own suggestion. Whichever one gets the most votes, that's what we'll come back and do. But until the next episode,
Thanks for watching.